Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Maxi here once again, and I'm back for yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos once again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Mario Party 8 for the Nintendo Wii. So, remember how last weekend is the fact that we did manage to win through the final board in Mario Party 8, which appears to be by the forms of Bowser's Warped Orbit, with some bit of mixed results. Well, don't get me wrong, I still managed able to win the final board, so at least I still managed to win that. But I found the actual board very underwhelming, to say the least. So yeah, today, for the majority of this weekend, especially noticeable about the fact that we're going to be able to actually hit on to the later days, I suppose, that is the fact that we'll dive right into the next mode we can show off, and that's what appears to be the minigame tent. Now, if you're probably wondering why I'm going to be skipping over Star Battle Arena, pretty obvious of why. You've seen the boards, and I've already talked about the forms of the description about the differences between the Battle Royale maps compared to the forms of how it does it on the dual maps on certain boards, so I don't feel like trying to able to actually sit for you guys with all that. Same exact boards again, but with different objectives. So anyways, let's go into the minigame tent, and as always, Mario is my main player, and the CPU players will be obviously Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi, just like always. So as you can see, we actually come across into ourselves 5 minigame tent modes. So we have Free Play Arcade, Crown Showdown, Flip Out Frenzy, Tic Tac Drop, and Test for the Best. I think Test for the Best was actually the unlockable mode, and I think you have to unlock that by purchasing that for the Fun Bazaar mode. So that's something you need to classify that. So let's get to it with Crown Showdown first, and let me double check on the description first. Play minigames to rank up a set number of wins. Basically a standard minigame battle kind of syndrome, like you have to win a certain amount of minigames between either 3, 5, or 7 wins to be more specific. Yeah, if you ever played Mario Party 5, Mario Party 6, and Mario Party 7 before, then you know what to expect. But first things first though, let's read this rules here. So, in Crown Showdown, you'll race to win a set number of minigames before your competitors do it first. What type of minigames? Up to you, or select random and leave it to chance. So basically, unlike any forms of how it does it in Mario Party 5, 6, and 7, that basically we do have a selection of all different types of minigame types, such as for instance with 4-player minigames, 1 versus 3, and 2 versus 2. In here though, this time around though, it's going to be mainly focusing on 4-player minigames and dual minigames. Now originally, I was expecting to able to try to go ahead and go for the 4-player minigames, but since though we already shown every single 4-player minigames, so I figure as you can see on screen, I'm going to be faced off against with Wario in a dual variation, because we have not played that much of those dual minigames, so we figure I'm also able to go for that. So yeah, let's begin, shall we, in Crown Showdown. And the first minigame we're going to be doing with is a new dual minigame we got right here, which appears to be Lava Loppers. Seems kind of an interesting minigame to go through, so yeah, let's check the rules here. Fire straight shots and lob high shots at your distant opponent. Score 3 hits first. Try to throw off your rival by mixing up your high lobs and straight shots. So, kind of think about it, this minigame does remind me of the minigame from the likes of in Mario Party 9 called, I would say Crossfire Caverns, where you basically have your teammates with you, trying to cooperate, trying to able to actually deal with Bowser Jr. and stuff. However though, the biggest differences between the two is the fact that in this particular minigame, as we're diving right into right now, doesn't need any motion controls, so it's all about button controls. So yeah, that's basically what you have to do. And I think you only have like 3 hits, so whilst unlike in Mario Party 9 for Crossfire Caverns that you need to deal with Bowser Jr. and you have to hit him for about 3 times, whilst in here though, all we have to do is just knock each other out, and that's basically all there is to it. So, and I was actually almost gone to a draw situation because, well, as far as I'm aware, that the Warrior opponent is actually getting a bit aggressive, but regardless of such though, I still managed to gut him regardless. So yay, my first victory so far for Crown Showdown, so... It's a good thing I did manage to select 7 wins, just like it informs of how it doesn't on any other Mario Party Let's Plays, so there might be a good chance that we can able to bump into any other minigames that we have not seen yet. So, speaking of such, here's another new minigame we have not played yet, for not only for the dual minigames, but also 2 vs 2 as well. Bumper balloons. Pop balloons that match your car's color before your rival succeeds in doing so. Watch where you're driving, but don't accidentally pop your opponent's balloons. So yeah, basically, think of like the exact same control scheme as in Cardiatos, except the fact that, as you can tell, that the main emphasis on this minigame is the fact that we need to pop our own balloons instead of like not able to pop your own balloons. You know, think of like a combination of Cardiatos as well as the forms of locomotives for as a dual minigame, except the fact that we no need to worry about trying to utilize the pointer. And also, what is up with you, Wario? You somehow managed to let me win for that particular reason. And of course, this minigame was also in 2 vs 2, so yeah, I feel like counting that as well, so just in case you probably see this minigame already, so how's that for that? So, yeah, you probably get the idea of how this mode plays out to be, so that's as far as I can usually try to say about this, so... Alright, so let's move on to the next minigame here. So, can we might as well come across into something new again? Speaking of new, here's another one right here. Rotation Station. Interesting minigame of any sorts, because it actually requires a unique control kind of feel to it. So, be the first to climb to the top of the tower. Move the camera around to better see where you're going. Change the camera angle only when you used to. Definitely use it when you're running into a blind spot. So basically you do the usual move around stuff with the directional pad and 2 to jump, but if you twist your Wii Remote or turn your Wii Remote in the corresponding direction, either left or right, you do have the ability you can able to actually change the camera angles. So kind of weird for that particular control scheme to able to move around the camera around, but regardless of such though, I'm pretty great with platformers, so I should able to actually do this just fine. However, if you fall off for a moment, then you have to climb back up again, so that's something you need to classify if you're realizing about this, so... Alright, so we're not doing so bad anyway. Hopefully I'm also getting my new record, because as you can tell, my new record currently is 51 and 86 milliseconds, because for some reason, that back in a day, that I took a bit forever to able to actually just to get into this minigame, but the more I play right now, then the more advanced player I was, even though despite the fact that that particular angle almost throws me off, but luckily I got my new record, which this time around, it was actually below 45 seconds. Nice little skills for my platforming skills and stuff. Although I highly recommend you not able to actually take a lot of, you know, hasty stuff, because if you go too fast, well, there might be plenty of times that the camera might throw you off, even if you try to keep on, you know, steering your Wii Remote left or right, and then the camera will decide to go freaked out, so that's something you need to classify for watch out for. Alright, so next minigame we have is Flip the Chimp again. We're literally so close to able to stumble across another new dual minigame we can able to stumble across, which apparently is actually a luck-based one, but hopefully we'll come across into that eventually, but for now on though, we'll just play Flip the Chimp again. So, I'm hoping this will be the last time we're going to be playing this minigame, because I'm just getting sick of trying to play this minigame, I must be honest here, because then again though, it's just the fact that with the motion reaction, it just kind of feels a bit slow at points. Like, despite the fact that I clearly try to able to actually, you know, get my Wii Remote to the left, but then next thing you notice, it takes like a few seconds delay, and then next thing you notice is the fact that it's just the reaction timing feels a bit slightly off at points. But luckily I didn't get bonked once during the course of that particular coconut falling obstacle. So, as a result though, yeah, I'm still pretty much good at this right now. But still, I can definitely heard about the fact that a lot of people seem to have a lot of issues with this minigame, so... But I will say about the fact that I do believe that Chain Events will be a better game as a result compared to Flip the Champ. But it does have some glaring issues, such as for instance with all that motion mashing, or specifically the motion reactions might not come as quick as I thought it was, so... Anyway, so let's move on to the next new minigame, which is Spectre Inspector. Now technically we've already seen this minigame during the course of well, let's just say back on Shy Guys Perplex Express, but now I'm finally going to be playing it, so find the classic foes hiding in the furniture. Find 3 first. Ghosts won't count towards your score. You know if furniture is hiding something if it rattles when you shine your light on it. So yeah, like I said, we're technically playing Luigi's Mansion, except the fact that we no longer have ourselves our useful gadget with us, which appears to be bloody forms of the Poltergust 3000, but it knows what it is. It's just the actual, the game logic, I guess, but anyway. But like I said before, that if you stumble across the ghost like that, like I just did right there, oh wow, looks like Wario is actually getting very lucky with all that. You know, finding these NPCs and stuff, but I get a strong sense of feeling that he might actually win this, because for some reason I couldn't find any of them, because I just have no idea why I'm having trouble with this. Well, most of the time though, it can be pretty luck-based at times, because most of the time certain NPCs managed able to hide on some different furnitures, but it doesn't matter, because I simply lost anyway, so... Oh well, we'll let Wario win on that, so... But at least I'm still pretty much at the halfway point, so... So yeah, a few things I want to explain for this point today, and that is the fact that today's date is of course the 14th of May today, in this case in 2022 today. So naturally speaking, that we're pretty much almost to the halfway point in terms of May, before we move on to the biggest month in terms of the gaming industry until next month, which appears to be, of course, June. And that means we're able to get a ton of games during the course of June. Like, you know, Mario Strikers Battle League Football, and also Sonic Origins, and also DLC expansions for both Monster Hunter Rise, in this case Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, and of course Cuphead, the delicious last course. And not to mention though, with the Fire Emblem Three Houses Warriors, for the sake of the forms of, no wait, that was actually by the forms of Fire Emblem Warriors, Three Hopes. So, yeah, quite a lot of titles coming out on June next month, so, including the forms of the DLC expansions with those 2 games specifically, so, yeah. Alright, so I've only got 2 points left, so let's see what minigame are we playing next. We have Cardiatos. I might be alright with this minigame, but it does have a bit of a luck-based element to it, so... But we'll see how this goes, basically. So, take turns selecting cards that launch attacks on your rival. Reduce your rival's life meter to 0 to win. There's no way to know what a card will do until you've selected. Good luck. So again, it's all about luck, so as a result though, that we have to go off a bit trying to able to actually begging to able to choose a bigger number cards, because otherwise, if you somehow manage to do it anyway, then, you know, you'll deal with more damage to your opponent, so... But before we do that, we have to do a turn order. In this case, Wario is going first, because he was lucky enough that he's actually got a bigger number than me. So yeah, that's what happens right there. If you get a number card, then it actually reduces my life meter. And then if my life meter goes to 0, I will lose. So... Oh, really? Let's go a rubbish 1. I was hoping for more than that, but again, you can't really tell of what's in those cards until you decide to select it, so... 2 is okay. I mean, surely it could have gone worse. Alright, let's see if I can get ourselves a bigger number card if possible. So let's see. Oh, 10. That's more like it. Although, it might be a bit of a tough situation as far as this is concerned, but at least I'll take it, I guess. Alright, so he only gets like 9 HP left, so let's see what Warrior's gonna bring out. 5, as in a bomb. So I might be alright with this, as long as I need to get myself the card where it says 9 on there. So expecting to believe with bullet bills, I guess. Oh, dang! In fact, to make matters worse, is the fact that, well, since he's only got 1 health left, I get a horrible feeling that the last card is actually the 6 health card, so, yep. Damn it! I was so close, too! Ah, I'm screwed. I literally got screwed over because he survives by 1 unit of health left, and I got screwed in the process. I mean, what is this like? He actually equipped the second chance, or once more equipment, ever since in Kingdom Hearts games? It could be. It could be. I don't know. Or something more accurately like RNG and stuff. But gosh darn, I was literally so close. By able to actually win on that minigame, so... oh well. But at the very least, we'll let Warrior win on that, so... Alright, let's see what's next on here. We've got Swords of Swarm. We've already played this before, except this time we are now going to be playing this minigame in a dual variation. So, meaning about the fact that we actually stumbled across the, well, let's just say the horizontal split screen. So in this case, I'm now going to be on the top screen, and then meanwhile for Wario, he's pretty much at the bottom screen. So... let's see how this goes though, hey? In fact, I was actually really good at this, no matter what, because, you know what I mean, it's the fact that I believe, fundamentally speaking, this is without a doubt is one of the best battle minigames of all time, for the sake of the forms of the Mario Party game's history, at least as far as I'm noticing this, because, well, I just feel like enjoying it, so... But anyway, so, again, there's not much else I can talk about, aside from the fact that, well, relatively speaking, I think... fundamentally speaking, I think we've actually got about 13 more days to go, until, to be more specifically, for those of you of the bronies out there, 13 more days to go until My Little Pony and Maritime Bay Adventure is going to be releasing on, you know what I mean, Nintendo Switch, Xbox consoles, and PS4. Nor do why they managed to ignore the PS5 release, despite the fact that, well, luckily, hopefully, that particular game will actually have backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 5, so at least that's still an option. Alright, so we only got 1 more point left, so yeah, if you think you're actually getting close, then basically that MC Ballyhoo is going to notify that someone is closer to the winner, so yeah, pretty much self-explanatory. So, alright, another new minigame, Settle It in Court. It appears to be like a basketball type of minigame, so with Wii Remote motion controls. So, wave Wii Remote to shoot the ball when the ball icon passes through the shot window. When a Goomba icon appears, press A or B when it passes through the shot window to get an assist. So, yeah, basically we need to flick the Wii Remote upwards, just like when you're trying to able to toss the basketball into the basketball net, so... And also, this minigame does remind me of the, it's kind of like the same thing as in new forms of in, free throws from the likes of in Mario Party 4, except the biggest difference is there, we no need for button presses, although the only time it's button presses is the fact that if the Goomba shows up. So in this case though, we have to utilize the motion controls a lot in this minigame, as opposed to in the Mario Party 4, that's all about the GameCube controller, so no need for motion controls there, so yeah, I guess that makes a pretty obvious sense for that regard, so... I'm pretty sure that the maximum points you can get up to, I think anyway, might be actually be 18 or something, so... Although I may be wrong, but either way though, I somehow still win. And I believe if you somehow manage able to get involved with the 4-player Crown Showdown match. I believe if you somehow managed able to let the opponents managed able to get no points, I guess, I believe you're able to once again get a tiebreaker thing for a dice block system, just like it evolves of how it does in the other games, so I don't think we can able to show that off, because obviously Crown Showdown is finished. Because I somehow win. All hail Mario. Yes indeed, he's actually the winner, because obviously I am the champ when it comes to this particular minigame mode. So, thus this particular mode, well, it might be actually be kind of short, but regardless of such though, I did somehow manage to able to get there in nick of time, I guess. So anyways, that's it for the Crown Showdown, and now let's move on to the next minigame mode. So yeah.